You can pick up a copy of Dark Souls 3 for just $5. The PlayStation Plus games for February 2018 are available right now, and the PlayStation 4 exclusive Shadow of the Colossus has done big business. More on that in a little bit. First, if you've yet to play Dark Souls 3 and you want a copy of the game, well, you can get one very cheap at your local Redbox. If you go to your local Redbox, you can pick up a copy of Dark Souls 3 for just $4.99. Redboxes are located everywhere. We'll leave a link down below in the description box where you can locate one nearby you, and you can just go to it and pick up a copy of the game for just $5. They're usually outside your regular convenience stores and gas stations, so definitely try to find one and pick up Dark Souls 3 for just $5. That's an insane deal on a fantastic game. At this point, if you've yet to play a Souls game, you're probably living under a rock, but for whatever reason, if the only other Souls game you might have played was Scholar of the First Sin on the PlayStation 4 because it's available at a cheaper price and you were waiting on Dark Souls 3 to be a little bit cheaper, well, $5 is as good as it's gonna get. This game typically goes for at least $20 still, and that's if you find a pretty good discount on it. So if you're interested in Dark Souls 3, try to find a Redbox near you and pick the game up for $5 because that price is too good to pass up, and the game itself is really solid. This is the culmination of From Software's near decade-long work on the Souls games, going back to 2009 with Demon's Souls, and obviously prior to that when the development of that game began, and we ended up with Dark Souls 3, and it's a fantastic product with great boss fights, an atmospheric world, beautiful visuals, and there is lore and a story to it. While it's not told in the traditional sense, comparatively speaking to a big budget RPG, there's definitely a lot of nuances to Dark Souls' world, and for $5, it's a game you should definitely check out. Great price, find it at your local Redbox. For you PlayStation Plus subscribers out there, PlayStation Plus games for February 2018 are available right now. January's Plus games are no longer available, which is kind of disappointing because January was one of the best months, but hopefully you already snagged those games. Those games include Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Batman, a Telltale series, as well as Psycho Pass, a mandatory happiness. As far as what games you're getting for February, we already talked about it, but to go over it once again really quick, on the PlayStation 4, you are getting Knack, Rhyme, and Grand Kingdom. Grand Kingdom is a game no one is talking about being a PlayStation Plus freebie. All the advertising for the month of February as regards to Plus games revolved around Knack and Rhyme, but Grand Kingdom is probably the best game out of the three. It is a more niche Japanese RPG, and the stylistic presentation isn't gonna be everyone's cup of tea, but if you're a fan of JRPGs, that's a game to check out, and it is a PlayStation Plus freebie available right now. PlayStation 3 games are still being given out, and if you're on the PS3, you can pick up Spelunker HD as well as Mugen Soul Z, and then over on the PlayStation Vita, you will also get Grand Kingdom, that's a cross-buy title, and Exile's End. So all of those games are available right now. As far as the PlayStation 4 titles go, Knack was a launch game, and it was probably one of the more disappointing PlayStation 4 games this generation. Has some pretty good visuals, but the gameplay doesn't have a lot to it, and the story is pretty bad, so keep that in mind. Rhyme is a really good game. That was a game many gamers considered to be a little bit of a disappointment too, but think about the fact that prior to Rhyme's release, gamers were comparing it to titles such as The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, the Team Ico title, so it had high expectations to live up to. It was in development for a very long time, finally was released last year, and while it's not a top tier game, it's still a game worth your time, and now that it's a PlayStation Plus title, definitely give it a download. And as I mentioned, for you JRPG fans, Grand Kingdom is definitely a game to check out, so make sure you download that too. All of those games are available right now, so that's pretty good for all of you that are PlayStation Plus subscribers. Gamers seem to be divided with February's PlayStation Plus offerings, especially coming off the excellent January. When you actually look at it, the games themselves might attract a more niche audience. Knack, while it's not the best game in the world, it was a launch title, it was a retail game, so it's a game a lot of gamers haven't checked out, and you can check it out. Rhyme is a pretty good game, and Grand Kingdom is such a good game. However, it's just not going to be up everyone's alley, so not a lot of gamers are giving it the credit that it's due. But again, if you're a fan of Japanese games, that's one to check out. And finally, Shadow of the Colossus was one of the PlayStation 4's first major exclusives of 2018, and by the way, this is beginning a massive string of exclusives for the console, but Shadow of the Colossus was the first really big one, and it performed very well from a critical standpoint. Currently, it has a 92 on Metacritic, which is very high, one of the highest rated PlayStation 4 games of all time. However, it also performed exceptionally well from a commercial standpoint, according to Chart Track. The Shadow of the Colossus remake has topped the UK charts, and the sales of this remake has greatly eclipsed the sales of the original PlayStation 2 title. The number of physical sales on the PlayStation 4 versus the PS2 copy is up a whopping 73%, and why that's so impressive is nowadays in 2018, a lot of gamers are buying the game digitally too, so it doesn't even take into account that, but just physical sales, the PS4 version is up 73%. That is great to hear. So many more gamers are playing Shadow of the Colossus, and it did seem like Team Ico fumbled a little bit with the release of The Last Guardian. That game was still really good, but now they're definitely back in the good graces of gamers with something like this. It's just a remake, and it was actually done by Bluepoint Studios, but it is a Team Ico property, so you get the idea. Just great to see a fantastic game like this sell really well. And originally, you wouldn't have thunk of Shadow of the Colossus as one of those mainstream big hitter titles, but it topped UK charts, and it looks like it'll be one of the better selling games of 2018, and that's well deserved. That's gonna wrap up this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure you pick up a copy of Dark Souls 3 for $5 at your local Redbox. That is too good to pass up. What do you think about the PlayStation Plus titles? Have you downloaded them? Are you playing any of them? Let us know. And what do you think about Shadow of the Colossus performing so well from a commercial standpoint? We already knew the game was gonna be great, but now the game is selling great too, and that's great to see. Sound off with your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.